I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing in Star Citizens, but today I'm gonna explore Port Olisar and run my first missions. Today's video is sponsored by SecretLab. We all strive for the best possible gaming experience, but the importance of a good quality chair is often underestimated. SecretLab produces some of the most comfortable and high quality gaming chairs you can get. So upgrade your commander chair today and fly in style and comfort. Follow the link in the video description to their store, type in your height, your weight, and it will tell you which chairs fit you for the best possible seating experience. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Star Citizens with Down-to-Earth Astronomy. First of all, before we start, I just want to say sorry for the echoey sound in this video. We're rebuilding the room, everything's been moved out apart from the recording setup, so obviously there's not the same acoustics in here as there used to be. I also want to say a huge thank you to all the guys who either reached out after my last video or posted comment section. It's been a tremendous help. A lot of you guys had even reached out and asked if you could take me along to show me the game, get me introduced to it. One of my moderators already plays the game, he showed me around, so I feel like I got the basics, and today I'm just gonna be flying solo for the first time. But let's dive into it. I wake up in my bed in Port Olisar. I quickly exit the room and immediately notice that this is a lot cleaner than the previous location I was at. And to my delight, I discover that this place is also a lot easier to navigate. No half-hour commute just to find the center of the area, but just basically down the stairs and you were right at the center of the station. With this station being so much easier to navigate, I decided to explore around a bit and look at some of the local shops. I looked at clothing, armor, and items I didn't even know what was. After playing around with some weapons that I was clearly not qualified to use, I decided to head outside and see what the station has to offer on the outside. And this was where I was met by one of the most beautiful sights I have seen in a game in a very, very long time. Apparently the station here was orbiting some gas giant. Oh my god, I don't know how they managed to get the sense of scale was just amazing. I had to stop up and take it in for a few seconds. Drawn to the pretty sight, I decided to move closer even though the planet would be hundreds and thousands of kilometers away. And this is where I come to a small ledge, and it was this point it struck me, what's actually going on with gravity and physics here? I mean, I'm in space right now. How does gravity even work? I quickly tested the laws of physics and concluded that gravity was indeed still in place. Getting a little bold, I took a run up and decided to jump over the ledge, at which point my EVA suit activated only to promptly shut off, sending me tumbling through space, at which point I landed face first on the landing pad below and broke my nose. With a broken nose, I soldiered on and quickly began to get the hang of this EVA pack. As I was flying around the station, I noticed this turret on top of one of the buildings shooting at something and decided to investigate. While investigating the turret, it began firing again, and being the curious person that I am, I wondered what would actually happen if you jumped into the line of fire. Well, at least the broken nose is not an issue anymore. Back at the turret again, I discovered the source of the turret's murderous nature. Apparently HAL 9000 has been degraded to gun control after the incident in 2001. I decided to try and be a little bit more careful from here on, at which point I promptly got stuck. And trying to get out, I just fell into a ditch that got me even more stuck. And after running around in this ditch for a while, like an animal in a cage, I finally managed to find a way out. This did cost me 2 broken arms, and when I finally thought I managed to get out, my character decided to get yet another heart attack and once again die. Next, it was time to test my newfound flying skills. Not that I was any good at flying the ships, but I got good enough that I don't end up in a situation like this anymore. I looked through the available missions and found a number of courier missions, all with pickup locations in my local area and all going to the same location. This is something I probably wouldn't have found on my own, but having someone to show you where it is obviously made it a lot easier. After I accepted the missions, I called my ships and we're off. First, I needed to pick up all the packages, which was all located on one of the local moons. For this, I would need the quantum drive, which is the faster than light travel mode. Again, not the most intuitive thing in the world. Again, if I didn't have someone who had showed me how it worked and what buttons to press, I probably wouldn't have figured that out without some kind of help from someone. After a successful landing at the first pickup location, I headed on inside, where I found a guy behind a counter. Went up to him and I had the option to make a pickup or send a delivery, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna pick something up. At which point he just replied and said,
"You got the wrong person.
At this point I had to resort to ask for help, and apparently if I just followed the mission marker I would have noticed it was pointing me to a vending machine just in the corner of the room from where I could pick up the first package. I repeated this 2 more times and was now ready to head off to my drop-off location. And this is where I encountered a small issue. You see, locating it on the map wasn't an issue, setting the route wasn't an issue, but every time I tried to start my quantum drive it said that the target was obscured. Well, it was, but it has never been an issue before. When I was flying around the moon, the quantum drive would automatically go into orbit, fly around the moon and drop me out about 20 kilometers away from my target destination. But for some reason now, it just couldn't automatically fly me around the moon, but was forced to set my destination to a point on the other side of the moon, where the quantum drive would then automatically fly me out the other side. From this point, I could then set a destination to my drop-off location. The flight out to the cell destination was quite long, but luckily the game does allow you to get out of your seat and walk around the ship, so I used this as an opportunity to further explore the ship. And I must admit, I'm really impressed with the level of detail that's gone into the design of these ships. Beginning to open doors, I first found a small toilet/bathroom that was really only big enough to reverse in if you wanted to use it. On the opposite side there was what I assumed to be like a small kitchen thing, at least some kind of place where you can get food and drinks from, I guess. I could see from the number of beds that the ship was designed for 4 people, which also aligned with the number of seats in the cockpit, but it was probably a rather confined space for just 4 people. At least I wouldn't want to live that close with 3 other people for an extended period of time. And when I finally arrived at my drop-off location, I was greeted with yet another absolutely beautiful sight. It was this whole city as far as I could see, with highways and everything. And I almost missed my drop-off location just flying around looking at the pretty sights. It was an absolutely amazing experience getting to fly around and just feel like you were flying over a big city with millions of people in. I landed on a rooftop very close to my first drop-off location and headed outside, only to find the weather to be absolutely appalling. It was very windy and snowy and cold and raining, and I headed inside just to find a vending machine where I handed in the delivery. One thing I noticed was the ship didn't really seem to care much for the high-speed winds. I don't know if this is something they're planning to add in later. With the level of detail that has already been put into the game, I was surprised to find that they didn't have any kind of atmospheric conditions affecting the flight model of the ships. But with a cool 28,000 credit in my wallet, I decided to give my character some rest and call it a day. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this Star Citizen video. If you did, let me know in the comment section, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, I'll see you guys in space.